out less than expected, and I guess the threat of the fear of inflation kind of waned, and I think you know the president was talking about a possible Iran deal this weekend after a punishing bombardment by U.S. forces of Iran, which drove them to the bargaining table. And sometimes you see big movements in the currencies. That there's people in Washington that talk to people on Wall Street, and there may be something to this possible peace deal. But anyway, again, hi, my name is Dr. Greg McLeod, and welcome to the $50,000 challenge. This is we're streaming on YouTube, so I want to say big hello to the YouTube family out there who are watching. Those who are Forex traders, all you Forex traders out there, or maybe looking at a possible challenge opportunity. This is where you take your own money and trade it from $50 using our proprietary spreadsheet, our trading plan. Take trades. You can take trades with us, or you can take trades on your own. But we have a lot of support. We have indicators and a checklist and a whole procedure for getting that one good trade a day or one good trade per the spreadsheet. We're a faith-based group, so we're going to start off with prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the life that you've given us. We thank you for the life of the Lord Jesus Christ. We thank you for his healing, his mercy, his salvation, saving us from hell and translating us into the kingdom of your dear Son. And we just thank you for blessing everyone on the sound of this call. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. And help us with our trades. Help us to see clearly and to be aware of what's going on. Let's see if there's any. I'm just going to turn the waiting room off. That way, if anyone comes in, they won't bother us. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. Make sure Steve's been very good at reminding me to share my screen. Lisa's in the room. Nice to see you, Lisa. Oh, and let's go ahead and share the screen. And I actually want to show you, this is an article I post periodically. It's actually from a book by James Hurst, and it talks about the power of compounding. And he talks about taking basically a $10,000 account, and if you do 52 trades at 10%, you would have over $1.4 million. And so I went ahead and put the link of that in the chat if you wanted to go ahead and read that. Albert Einstein said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And so we're being able to do that in a smart way. That's how we're going to build our accounts. Okay. So let's take a quick look. I see someone messaging me here in the school community. Oh, hi, Greg. Want to know I will not be able to attend. Okay. Okay. All right. Oh, next week. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll read that later offline. Okay. Let's get ahead and okay. Let's start with my market heat map, an arrangement of currency pairs or percentage change, and they'll see what's hopping, what's popping, and it's gray, and it's been like that for I don't know if it's the summer, but there it is. It's like what went on here? Okay, with Aussie CAD, CAD's been very weak. Aussie CAD, Kiwi CAD, the Bank of Canada actually raised rates to 2.4%, and even though they raised rates, nobody wants their currency. Aussie CAD, Kiwi CAD, Pound CAD, Euro CAD. It's been sell CAD. That's been the theme of this heat map, as you can see, with all the Forex pairs there. In fact, Aussie CAD, Aussie very strong against the Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar beating up on the CAD as well. And so down here, we'll also see CAD yen. Even the yen is taking its punches on the Canadian dollar, and the Swiss franc as well. And so we can see that even though they raised interest rates, nobody wants the Canadian dollar, right? Dollar CAD was shooting up pretty good too. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the news. I'll actually want to look at the for those of you who don't have my market heat map, you can go to mymarketheatmap.com, go to the front, and then you scroll down, and you can have access to one of 6 powerful heat maps. It'll tells you what's hopping, what's popping, what's dropping, what's not in the market. We can see that the Aussie dollar, one of my favorite currency pairs, is up 0.75%. Kiwi dollar up also 0.75%. Pound dollar up nearly 0.5%. Euro dollar falling behind 0.4%. And then we find the dollar pairs getting thrashed. And this is a looks like a risk on market, where we have the happy, positive risk on currencies at the top, and the dollar fear trade at the bottom. And usually this is an indication of possible geopolitical settlement. Maybe people aren't as fearful. We have the big SpaceX IPO, multi-billion-dollar deal at $135 a share. 30% is going to be offered to retail, so that's going to be pretty amazing, a big pop. But I've been watching IPOs for a number of years, and usually they start off strong. Facebook gapped up $51 a share. It dropped down to $17 and stayed around the $17, $20 range for about 4 or 5 months before it shot up. Now Facebook is over $600 a share now, right? So I'm a big I want to get a piece of the IPO, but I will wait until it drops, and see if we can get that on a pullback. Maybe a 50% haircut makes it around $60 a share, right? So let's go ahead and look at the economic calendar for tomorrow. We did have PPI, but the producer price index came in. Some of it was hot, some of it was not. If we can back it up a little bit, there we go, and we can see Thursday, June 20. No, let's go here. Yeah, show more PPI. Yeah, producer price index year on year. It dropped from it actually came in the same, but people thought it was going to be up at 5.4%. They got it wrong. 4.9%. Month-on-month number, 1.1% was the previous number. 0.7 was the forecast. Well, it was a little hotter than expected. And then the core PPI, that's without food and energy, came at 0.4, less than the previous number, and a little bit lower than forecast. So that's a pretty good trend. The initial jobless claims number, 225,000, was higher at 229,000, and they forecasted 219,000. But then you had the ECB press conference, ECB rate decision. They hiked rates from 2.15% to 2.4%, right? And so we did have the European Central Bank hike rates. We also saw the euro rise. Not initially, it rose. I remember the euro was like at 115. The low like 115.30 or so. Now we're about 115.82. Okay, and we have press conference, and we do have a business note that business PMI came out for New Zealand already. Okay, so nothing is on the docket for this week, but lots of UK data, and the pound, all of the currencies rose up pretty big, but lots of we have goods of trade, GDP, manufacturing, and industrial production all tomorrow. Okay, but so nothing. So when there's nothing inspiring the market for Asia session, usually it's basically we focus on technicals. Okay, so let's go to our actually want to check CNBC, and just go ahead and check the overnight market and see what happened overnight. Overnight, we had, huge gains. Again, when we have the Aussie and New Zealand dollar, those were rallying. And then guess what? The stock market's solid green, almost 1.86% rise. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average, 929 points. The S&P 500 up 1.75 points. NASDAQ 1.75%, 127 points. NASDAQ 2.5% up, 640.15 up. NASDAQ 100 was up as well. Russell 2000, and we don't have our VIX. They took the VIX off. I wonder why. The VIX is our fear indicator. I still like looking at it, and the VIX is down. right? So it was up, now it's down. So apparently people are getting ready for uh, a, a positive trading day for tomorrow. Let's take a look at the futures market too. Pre-market, the futures are up, positive. The S&P is up, and Nasdaq is up. And our gold is up too. It was up $140, 3.4% rise. Silver up almost 6%. Copper up almost 2%. So gold was up. Let's take a look at crypto. I wonder if crypto was up as well. And yes, Bitcoin, Ether, Solana, Dogecoin, and XRP all posting gains today. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what is happening. What's the market doing for us lately? We want to check the condition of the market, and let's go ahead and check out the. Where are you, Trend Spotter? Let's go ahead and get Trend Spotter dashboard there, and we can see what's going on with all. We can look at the entire board, Captain's board, refresh. Okay. The board, our board isn't working. Refresh, board. Okay. We'll have to talk to the developer about that. Okay. No worries. Okay. And let's go again. The board's not working. Okay. All right. And we got some buys on the euro. Of course, the dollar's getting crushed. So, but what's the strongest one here, right? 54% confidence. Okay. So anyway, it's gonna be a risk on market, and let's see what our strongest are. I don't know if one of our data feeds are active. Right. Okay. Here we go. Aussie is strongest. Really, followed by Kiwi. And then we have a pound yen, neutral. I got like a mixed bag. Kind of a mixed bag of stuff, and other stuff isn't loading. All right. Okay. Let's look at price itself. Okay. And we were looking at the Canadian dollar. We were taking it. This was me. Remove the lines there. Okay. Yeah. We had a nice breakout, so we took this trend line break. Nice rally. Looked for another break, and it did not. And then it's dropped off dramatically, right? So all of our dollar pairs they were all trending higher. They are all on the back foot now, right? So let's go ahead and add we're Tokyo, right? And I don't want to use this. Remove all lines. Nope. Try that again. Remove all lines. Okay. There. And let's take a look at our. Okay. Remove all lines here. And okay. So here we go. And we have a higher time frame chart we'll refer to as our 30-minute chart. But look at that from the just a big break north. And now we're consolidating here. Oh, let me switch over to Tokyo. Sorry. Okay, there we go. So the 30-minute, we have price above the 200, but the 200 is still above the 50. So interesting enough that I wound up taking that pound dollar after I got stopped out on the short. I flipped it to the long and took it long for a bit. I was able to make some goodly amount of pips there. But you can see how we were cascading down after the rise we had earlier, right? We started dropping, and now we're still in it. If we take a look at the higher time frame, well, let's even go out to a 4-hour time frame as well, right? we are still in a downward trend channel, but we're tremendously oversold. I mean, we're just crawling around stochastics, crawling around that very low 15. Remember, price can stay oversold for a long period of time. So even though it was generating these buy signals, the overall trend was down. And so we would ignore those buy signals, right? We want to look at our higher time frame. So if we were to connect the, you know what? I'm going to start picking these guys off. Okay. So after we get really, really oversold, price rallies up, then drops, and then rallies and rallies, and finally we have this rally. So is this a rally in a downtrend, right? So it may, from if we were just looking at a 5-minute time frame, it looks like, wow, this is a very strong market. Look how powerful it is. And it was for this period of time, but the cumulative data behind this price move is negative, is bearish. So do we see maybe a pullback or some higher moves here? That's when we get to use our lower time frames to see what's going on inside that candle. Is there some more juice in there, for scalping or grabbing 10, 15 pips out of that, right? So let's actually walk it down to a 1 hour, and we can see that price is still not showing any break, and we do have this trend line, and it's probably roughly about 10 pips between here and the 200 simple moving average. Stochastics is overbought, and when we get overbought, we can see that every time that it's gotten into that area, it's like a T-ball, right? You get this peak where price rallies up and becomes overbought. Let's take a look at that action, right? It becomes over. I'll just move this over here. Overbought and drops and overbought and drops and overbought and drops. Do we do the same thing here? That's what the big question is, right? We have this bearish bias, right? And we might want to confirm, do we at least have a lower high and a lower low, a break of structure to confirm this? Now you can see structure on this because it's a solid candle, but maybe if we go to a lower time frame, we can see some structure where we have some highs and lows, right? So we had a high, we have a low. We made maybe the same high, so maybe we have the makings of a double top, right? We have probably the makings of a double top. So we haven't even touched it yet, but it's close. The low we have is right here. So if price rallies up and drops, makes a low, if it makes a lower high and a lower low, so if a break, then that would probably be an indication that the upper structure, the higher highs and higher low structures broken down, and would give us a confirmation that we have a reversal of trend. So this is probably a logical place to put an alert, right? Now, the corollary of this is it could break out and keep going. It could be a high and tight bull flag where it just rallies and just breaks out and keeps going. So we might want to keep an eye on that and put an alert on top of that, right? And we can go back. Kiwi dollar gave a signal, so you can see how I mapped that out. How I actually looked at because we could short it from here. If this is that high point that we can short, then we've got a lot of profit to go, right? Just like these high points here, they dropped, right? And it actually made a lower low, and we made a lower high, right? So we just need to reverse that Let's take a look at Kiwi dollar because it had an alert, and maybe it's going to do what we're looking to do, what we want to see. Actually, we have a high, and we have a low, and we have a lower high, so that's something that we would recognize. And so we want to see a lower low, lower than this previous low. And if we can see that low, that would confirm a break of structure. So the moving averages are not got. I mean, you've got a bullish crossover, but we see price go right through the moving averages, right? And we actually can see that right now, New Zealand dollars on the lower time frame is already on its way down to break the channel, right? So we might get a channel break in the direction of this bigger trend, right? This trend here, we could go 4 hour. I mean, honestly, this thing is really going sideways. 55.91 low from November 2025, and the high of the 61.26. So we really haven't gone. We haven't made really any new highs or new lows. We just have a slight downtrend here, and our downtrend that's going on in there, right? But we also have a rising trend line here, right? Right? Higher, we have some higher lows. So we're really stuck here, right? And this could be our divergence and a breakout, and we have really great news. And then our stochastics on the higher time frame is just getting started, right? But again, this is kind of far away for our trading. It's a 4 hour. I would look at maybe what's on the 1 hour. And the 1 hour, like it wants to pull back before it goes higher. Our 30 looks like it's crumbling. Our 15 says it's coming down. And what we can do is just play the waiting game. Or go look at gold. Okay, that's our 5 minute. I'm gonna throw these in the trash. I don't want to do this. These are old. And if you see something, say something, please. Whether you can go on the microphone or you can pop it in the chat box if you have a question or if something you want me to look at. Feel free. We have more eyes. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 sets of eyes here, right? No, 10 eyes altogether. 4 sets, 5 sets, including mine. We've got the 50-period moving average probably acting as support here. So I mean, when you have a moving average below a range, sometimes it acts as support, a floor for bouncing higher, right? Let's switch to a 3-minute chart just to see, or maybe a 1-minute chart. You can see what's going to happen here. And it's 7:27, so we've got about another couple of minutes before we break. Like it's pushing. The dollar index is where? There you go. There we go. Dollar index is down. Let's take a look at the dollar index. We really should start the dollar index. And where are you? There we go. Really? Wow, that's a giant drop. That was around about 2 p.m. I was shutting down for a nap. Oh, we're not seeing anything here. Let's go back here. 5 minutes. I don't know why we don't see the range breakout in the index, but this looks bearish for the dollar for the for the intermediate term. Lower highs, lower lows. There's no structure change here. We would have one if we broke above the high. So if we broke 99.71, if we broke that and made a new high, then we would worry about these others. But I don't think these guys want to go down. I think they might want to pop back up. I think maybe they're just playing with us. I don't know. We'll just kind of weigh it out. Let's take a look at gold. It's up about $3.87. And gold launched big move up from 40. It's a 200. This is almost like $190 move. And looks like it did a Fibonacci move. The 161.8% expansion, nailed it. But it was trending down, and without any type of notice, it just rallied up on us like that, right? But you can see the momentum was changing. We went from big momentum down, slowing momentum. Usually there's a change of momentum before there's a change in direction in price. If we were to add our momentum oscillator, MACD, moving average convergence divergence. Oh, really? Oh, MOVING. Oh, yeah. This looks like we maybe like a little wave for a pullback and maybe a launch up higher. Huh. It looks like there's more to go in this in gold. Right. I'm gonna pop an alert right there at 4,247.48. This looks like it wants to pop. Wants to go higher. This is just a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of a timeout, a lunch break before it maybe resumes to higher prices. Let's take a dollar CAD. It's been beat down, and it's breaking out. But it broke out right against the 200 moving average. And what does dollar CAD say? Bearish correction, warning, choppy conditions, oscillator twisting, no discernible trends, stand down. 7% confidence, 20% confidence for a sell, and it's not very confident. So we'll leave dollar CAD alone. Looks interesting. I might just put a no. Okay. I'm going to get long with a stop, and I'm like $9.25 to see if this thing will go up maybe $12. I mean, once it pokes its head out of the channel, it's closed above it. So let's see if it just continues. Looks like an Aussie. Looks like Aussie is rolling out of bed. It's rolling right into this. Hasn't closed outside yet. But it's like a cold winter's night, and you want to go to the restroom. You put your foot outside. It's too cold. So from under the Aussie has poked a toe out from under the blankets. Give us a little green arrow. I've never seen that before. I wonder if that's an alert to sell. But I think we are getting our structure change over here. We've got a high, a low, a lower high, and we can break 70.42, which are pretty close to our 70.44. So if we break that, it'll be maybe a confirmed double top with a drop. Okay, we got closed candle, another 10 seconds. Okay. And we got so this candle closed below, that one closed below that one, right? I'm going to make this keep the units the same. One mini lot. Sell 0.7044. Stop loss maybe about 3 or 4 pips above the high. So maybe risk 12. Okay. Can we get to the 200? It'd be cool if it got down there, right? That's 7022. So 7056 is the stop, 7022 for the target. So we got lots of congestion here. Looking for that follow through. So we're dollar CAD short, and let's go back to that. We're long at 1.3974, stop loss 1.3961. So 7.4 long, 6.1 stop on dollar CAD, and we are short 10K 0.1 lot, 0.7022. And our stop loss is 0.7056. Our bold little candle seemed like it crawled back inside the box. So we might see some profit taking after a big fast run like we had. We came from like 69.83 all the way up to 70, right? So almost 100 pip run. You would expect a 50%, a half back, 50% a pullback of some kind. If we were to put a Fibonacci on it. from our low. Our low's like 69.78. Let me just move this over so it's anything. I think that was like our low, right? So we take the fib up to that blue line up there, right? So this is 11% retracement. 38% retracement is in the same vicinity as my take profit. That's at 7026. And there's a quarter line there. So I might actually move my stop or my take profit right around there. So you can see I put the Fibonacci on the higher time frame and then let those act as targets. All right. Is anybody in anything? How you guys doing out there? Right. Oh. And let me go ahead. If you guys don't say anything, I'm going to address the people who are watching us on our in the stream. And I want to thank you guys so much on YouTube. Tell me where you're from and what do you think about the challenge so far, the materials that we have and how we work with each other in order to move down our spreadsheet to that $50,000 goal. If you're interested, there's a July challenge that we would love to have you be part of that. You can go ahead and click the link. In fact, let me get the link here from here, and you can join us. Join us in our July challenge. Okay, I'm gonna pop it in our chat. Our chat is connected to YouTube, so it's not for you guys on the inside. It's for those. So there's a link for you guys on YouTube. I want to thank you so much for being with us. We're gonna continue trading. We usually do this for 2 hours, but I wanted you to get a bird's eye view, look over our shoulders and see how we do the challenge. Okay. So with that, I want to say goodbye to you guys. Have a great weekend. God bless. And we'll see you.